When I'm stressed, I like to plan things out so I know what's coming. So it's one less demon hanging over my head. So that's what we're going to do today. We're actually going to try to set up some kind of time blocking schedule for NaNoWriMo time. Welcome back to the crypt. Time blocking is, you can get lots of information on it on YouTube, and the most popular thing to use to time block is Google Calendar, which is what I'm going to use today as well. I'm going to show you what that looks like. If you're interested in more Preptober stuff or just writing stuff in general, because again, I think this stuff applies to regardless, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you're notified when new videos go live. So I'm gonna flip you guys to what I have. So I actually went ahead, and because I'm not very knowledgeable about Google Calendar, and I tried to watch some tutorials and I was having a hard time kind of wrapping my brain around some of it. So I organized it as best I could, but I feel like I got too many calendars for too many different things. But I like to have different colors for things too. I think I'm doing this wrong, to be honest with you, but whatever. It'll work. It'll work for what I'm trying to do. What I've got going on right here is the first thing I set up was my wake up times. My wake up times remain pretty consistent for most days of the week, except for Saturdays when I wake up an hour earlier. Now, technically, and yeah, Friday and Saturday are really rough because I go from late shift to early shift. And I did decide to cut back on writing time. And then for relaxing time, I went ahead and put in a little bit for Wednesday. And the reason for that is because I do Japanese study with some friends on Wednesdays. And so I really didn't want to put any writing time and schedule it for Wednesday because I want to focus on my Japanese. I don't want to give that up. I also don't want to give up doing that same thing on Sunday as well at a certain time. So those times are not going to change. And because of that, Wednesday is one of my off days from writing. I will not be doing writing on Wednesdays. I also, if you couldn't tell, Saturday is completely booked up with Wake Up, my early shift, and then a huge bar called Relax. The reason for this is because I go from late shift on Friday to early shift Saturday. It is a brutal shift change. I've gotten as used to it as I feel like my body's capable of doing over the years, but it's harsh. So I have chosen that Saturday. I'm not going to be doing writing on Saturday either. It's too much. I'm too burnt out. So I'm just trying to be realistic. I'm not going to write on Saturdays. So both Wednesday and Saturdays are days I decide I'm not writing. Just straight up. So right off the bat, we only have 5 days per week I'm going to be writing. And I have learned that the idea of just using all of this free space to write, that doesn't necessarily work because my brain is like, well, I've got more free space. I've got more free space later, so I can do other things right now. So I'm hoping that time blocking works better because it gives me more of a visual aid of what I'm actually doing. So the reason all of this is important is because what I've noticed in my life is if I know I have tons of time to do stuff, I just won't get it done. Versus when I know I have a very limited amount of time to get things done, I'm more liable to do it. So I'm wondering if this will work. How it's set up currently, Tuesday, I would have a 2-hour time block. And then I tidy and clean up. And then for Wednesday, of course, none. Thursday, I would have a 3-hour block. So I would completely focus on my writing. I wouldn't have to have a tidy and cook time. I would have done that the previous day or the previous night a little bit. And then Friday, I have 2 hours again. So I have that designated time to tidy and cook because guaranteed what happens is sometimes some Thursdays at the after shift, after my late shift, I will have the cleaning bug and I'll tidy up. Sometimes I don't. So making sure I time block it out just in case. This kind of catches me if I fall. When I schedule relax times, you can really see from my schedule that I don't have I have a lot of them blocked out now, like because I put on weekends and also like right here. But that's, when you think about like all of the hours I have in the day, that's really not a lot. A lot of people have quite a bit more, like anywhere between 6 to 7 hour, 6 to like 8 hours relaxed time per day. I do not. Here, my initial thoughts is the only thing I'm kind of worried about is the weekends, just simply because I'm so tired from the previous day. Like, even though I do a bunch of relaxing and I blocked out relax, I feel like I might still be a little tired, and this is going to be hard. 1,700 per day is the goal. I know it's not. It's 1,665. I don't know. You know what? I don't care. This is a ballpark. So let's say I've got that number as my daily goal, but I only get it done 5 times. So let's go ahead and times this by 7. That's roughly the weekly goal, right? Well, now I need to divide that by 5 because I'm only really going to be writing 5 days. So my daily goal is really going to be about 2,380. I'm just going to round that and say about 2,500 words roughly per session is what I'm aiming for. I can definitely hit that within the 3-hour blocks. The 2-hour blocks is a bit of a stretch, but I could probably hit it in the 3-hour blocks for sure. However, I can't guarantee I will hit that during those blocks. So, but at the same time, I've tried to block things out of like, oh, until I reach a goal, but then I don't know when I'm going to reach that goal, so that again, I tend to procrastinate and stuff like that. But if I have it blocked out like this, where it's a certain set amount of hours, I feel like I'm more liable to do it. I mean, that seems to work for Mel as well. I have a certain amount of hours that I'm supposed to be putting in for writing. I'm more liable to do it when I have it like this. So yeah, I hope that was interesting and useful to you guys. I don't know for sure if it was or not, but I hope this was useful. This has been a really interesting experiment for me to kind of visually see what my days look like. Of course, this doesn't click in until November, but it kind of has already made me look at my current days a little differently, even though I'm in the middle of like packing hell. And so my schedule is all over the place. I am more aware of some of my time blocks in a way. Like, I've already started blocking things in my head a bit. So it's going to be really curious in November to see how much of this works, what does and what doesn't. Since this is the first time of me using this, I'm assured I'm going to have to fix things. I know right off the bat I'm doing this a little wrong for me personally, and that there are probably things I need to do differently in order for me to get the system to work. So I'll find that out as I go, I'm sure. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you guys have ever time blocked before. If so, how did it go? What were your thoughts on it? What do you think about like this kind of scheduling in general, especially when it comes to routines like writing? Have you ever really found a flow like that? For me, usually I tend to just plan too much, and that tends to be my Achilles heel. We'll see if that applies here. I feel like it will a little bit in places. But yeah, let me know what your experiences were in the comments down below. I would love to read them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you are having an absolutely lovely Preptober so far. Oh, I want to take a nap so bad. It's only 9 a.m.